Hello! Welcome to Giggles and Gays, the podcast where we talk about whatever you want us to. I'm Alan.
And I'm Larry.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're gay. How's it going, boys?
It's going good. Someone's trying to break into the room. But...
Those dogs.
Oh, gosh.
God.
Well, this week is a very, very special week here at Giggles and Gays. We are going to talk about our firsts.
Our firsts.
But not anything sexual.
Yes. Be warned, if you're only listening to hear that, that is not going to happen. Maybe Patreon one day.
This is not raunchy.
We are getting paid for that.
Our first topic is actually our Man Crush Monday. Are you guys excited to talk about your man crushes? This is your very first man crush.
Our very first.
That we remember. How about Jeff? You go first.
Daniel Radcliffe during Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because he goes into the water to get the answer for the second task. And I just remember he was shirtless. And I was like, oh, this is nice.
This is nice.
Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe. This is nice.
And he's still pretty attractive nowadays. But
He got better.
he was also naked on stage.
It's true, but he was no Neville Longbottom, though.
No, Neville had the glow up.
Neville had the glow up. I think he married some girl from Florida, actually.
I think it's a verb now to Neville Longbottom. Means to go from being like maybe not necessarily like a 10 out of 10 to getting there. Like Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon. He pulls a Neville Longbottom.
See, I didn't see it.
Well, it's because you weren't looking for it. And it was like 3 years between each movie for us. Because we couldn't find it on any streaming device.
I mean, let's be honest. We're gay. We always look for it.
No, Hiccup had
If we were to go watch...
I think so.
If we were to go watch the first one again, you'd be like, oh yeah, wow.
Oh, gosh.
Because he's almost an adult in the third one.
He is an adult.
He is. He goes from like a
He goes from being mid-teen to being an adult
Yeah.
to being a slightly older adult. So, speaking of cartoons, my first crush... Do y'all remember that 90s cartoon, Gargoyles?
Of course, it was a Disney cartoon in the 90s.
We were talking about it today, and I just remembered it was Goliath, the lead gargoyle from that cartoon. He was just... I don't know, he did something for me.
Wow.
Mine's a human, at least.
And a real person.
And a real person.
I mean, then there's nothing wrong with that. I mean...
Who was yours?
Yeah. Who was yours?
Great segue. Thanks. I'd have to say mine was Luke Skywalker. But not Luke Skywalker in his fighter pilot outfit. And not Luke Skywalker in all black. But Luke Skywalker in his white his white outfit from...
His farm boy outfit?
Yes. The
from
white,
Tatooine?
from Tatooine.
Uh-huh.
And, that one. Yeah, that
Hamill,
pretty
good
much
choice.
was... Yeah, but none of the other outfits that he's ever worn.
Ever in his life.
Yeah, at all. I was just like, oh. And then when he changed into his fighter pilot, I was like, go back and put on the other thing. We'll be fine. Speaking of first,
All right.
I think Larry's got a list.
Oh, I've got a whole list.
Let's go.
Whole list of things. So, very first memory. I will start this one off. My very first memory that I can think of that clearly is we were going back and forth because we were going over to my grandparents' house, and we were just going to stay the night with them. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to stay the night with my grandparents or go back home for the evening, and I couldn't make up my mind. We were driving back and forth, and eventually we stayed, and my grandpa cooked us I think it was an egg sandwich, and then we went to bed. That was it. Nothing crazy, but that was the moment where I realized I couldn't remember meeting my grandparents, even though they're like, oh, you've met Grammy and Grandpa before, and I was like, but I don't think I have, because I was a child. So, and it just sticks out to me.
Mine was also a grandparent story, but I feel like it was a different kind of grandparent story. I remember, and there was also a picture, so it jogged my memory. When I was a kid, I was on the back porch of their house, and I'm in a diaper, And I remember having a dog bowl of water in front of me with this big old happy grin on my face. And looking at the picture and then, flashback. I remember not walking outside, I probably crawled, and drinking out of the dog bowl because the dog did it. And I thought, hey, if the dog's going to do it, it's good enough for me.
Answers a lot of questions nowadays.
Well, yes.
That's like all those social media posts about, like, when I was a kid, we didn't come in till the streetlights turned on, and we drank from the hose, and we jumped off our cars, and we used to eat rusty screws off the ground, and kids these days just don't have it like we did.
I didn't have street lights in my neighborhood.
We did.
So you never would have gone inside.
I would have never gone inside until my parents flipped the front door light on.
Oh.
Yeah, flip was like, this is your warning. Flip.
Back in the day.
Brock and murder. It was flip, warning. Flip, now. Flicker, you better get here in now.
Ours was every hour we had to check in. And we could tell when we were in trouble because they would use all 4 of our names.
Ooh, yeah, because you have 4 names.
Yeah, because I've got 2
You
middle
have
names.
4 names?
Yeah, I
He has
have 2
4
middle
names.
names. And then when we get our last name changed, I'm going to have 5. And it's going to be so great. I'm just collecting names.
It's going to be a lot. I actually lose, whenever we get our name changed, I'll actually lose part of my name.
How do you lose part of your name?
I'm a junior.
Oh.
And since you'll have a different
you'll
middle
lose the
name,
junior.
I will
but a
lose,
different
thank
last name.
gosh.
You'll lose the junior.
You're
The
tired of
junior.
people being like, hey, Junior?
I mean, no one really says junior.
No, but what if they did?
We're going to call you Junior.
Hey,
from now on.
Junior.
God, don't do that to me.
Don't call me Junior.
Don't call me
Larry.
junior.
We named the dog Indiana. Jeff.
My first memory that I can remember is when we moved from Boston to New Jersey. It's a random day. I was... Jesus, could you be any louder over there? I was probably 2.5. And I just remember running up and down the moving truck thing. The
Ramp.
Just running up and down the ramp and stuff like that. It's just like the first random memory I have.
Yeah.
Nothing important about it. Well, I guess we moved. But
Yeah, I mean, you moved.
we moved, but...
I think it's funny what it was our first for memories. Okay, so now these ones should be pretty easy to answer unless you're Jeff. First CD.
Oh, yeah, this one.
My first CD player was great. I think it was gray or purple. But the first CD I listened to on it was the Labyrinth soundtrack. And I remember being like, Mom, this is so good. It sounds so great. My mom's like, you need to talk quieter. Not everyone can hear it as loud as you.
That's still you.
Oh, very much.
Still you. You have your ear pods in.
Oh, because that was a headset one? It wasn't just like a regular CD player?
No, it was a Walkman.
Walkman.
A Walkman CD player.
Walkman.
Yeah, a Walkman.
Yeah, you don't remember the big punk thing?
Oh, I do. The cassette and the CD player.
Boombox, no.
Complete, where you could record your voice and also record the radio.
Ooh.
That sounds beyond
That
its
was
time at the time.
That was how you would make mixtapes.
You wait for the song to come on and, oh, I got it.
On the radio. Boop. There you go.
So what
You
was-
would call and request it in on the radio, and then they would put it.
And then you'd play it.
Yeah.
And then you record it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So
I'm old, y'all.
we're not talking about our first tapes, but our first CDs.
God, I don't remember the first tape. I barely remember the first CD.
To be fair, I do. My first tape was Aerosmith, Dream On, and it was warped. But I played
Thought
it.
we
with my
weren't
first
talking
car.
about our
mine was
first
the Eagles,
tape.
actually.
Too bad.
I can remember a
Too
tape.
bad.
I
You
can remember
snooze,
a
you
tape.
lose out
Eagles
on.
was a tape that we had. It was white.
Mine was some Disney cassette tape that had Mickey and Goofy and some other guy, and they did a bunch of different songs. It was rather interesting. My first CD was when I got my first portable CD player. It was the knockoff of the now That's What I Call Music. I think my mom got it from Avon because she was an Avon salesperson, but it basically had the songs that didn't make it on the Now That's What I Call Music, and they were mostly country songs.
Hey, here's some music we found. Volume 1.
I wasn't always super allowed to listen to anything but country and gospel Christian music. I mean, when I was 16, I got my first car. I had a radio station that was for me, And then when my parents got in the car, there was a radio station for them, and I could not go back to listen to the other radio station because it was not a country radio station.
Ooh,
It was real bad. It was rough.
that's the opposite for us. You wouldn't catch the car playing country music at all.
And that's strange coming from Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Jeff, what's yours?
Jeff.
The Pokemon 2 Master CD.
Yes.
I remember I got it for my birthday, and
City.
I went into my it's on it. I went into my dad's office, because we had the big, that was the one where you could put like 6 CDs in there, but it had like the big
You
speakers.
could
and
change it?
stuff.
Yeah.
Blasted that shit on my birthday for like all day. My dad hated it. He was so mad he bought me the CD. We just kept listening to the Pokemon album the whole time. It was great. I have it on my phone.
Oh, same.
I know the Poké
Apple
Rap.
Music.
I know the Poké Rap.
When I would go over to my friend's house, we would play the "It's Time to Duel" soundtrack.
Duel.
That was great, and we'd play, and then I'd win a whole bunch. And
I wasn't allowed to watch any of the shows that you guys were talking about when I was growing up because it had magic and evolution. Yeah.
so first DVD. First DVD.
Patch Adams.
That's with Robin Williams, right?
It is with Robin Williams. I
Okay.
love that movie. Tons and gajillion people hate it, but I love Patch Adams. I think it's funny, sad, and heartwarming at the same time.
I can't remember anything except that it has Robin Williams in it.
He's an older gentleman that decides he wants to be a doctor, and then people make fun of him for being older, and then he gets like the hot blonde in the movie, and then something happens. Spoilers: the blonde starts working for Robin Williams thing, which is like an outreach kind of thing where people could call them and they would. Well, she goes over to this guy's house and he is a psychopath and kills her.
Well, that's a big spoiler.
That I wasn't
I've never
expecting
seen that movie. Now I don't need to see it.
At one point in time, he fulfills this woman's wish where she wants to swim in macaroni. She wants to swim in a big old tub of macaroni. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lady from Wedding Singer, the older lady, the rapping grandma, the hip hop, hippie to hip to the hip hop.
Oh yeah,
hop.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was my first DVD. It's
Jam.
rated R too, I think.
I mean, man, we'll have to watch that sometime because
It's really good.
It
wow.
might be episode 1 of Star Wars, maybe?
Really?
Phantom Menace.
Yes, episode 1.
Well,
Yes.
No, it's episode 1.
It's episode
Phantom
1,
Menace.
yes.
it is. In my head, though, I was thinking I didn't hear episode 1. I heard the first movie, and I was like,
I specifically said episode 1 before
He
I
has
said it.
selective
that's not what I heard.
He has selective hearing.
Because I can't think of
I won't
anything.
get offended at that.
I remember at the video store.
The video
They
store.
had
My mom
side-by-side-
used to run a
they
video
had side-by-side
store.
comparisons of what it would look like on DVD and widescreen, opposed to having it on VHS, because VHS wasn't necessarily in widescreen yet. They had weird pictures because the image is longer in widescreen, so you can see
Right.
more technically. So, because that was when DVDs still came out in full screen or widescreen.
I hated widescreen. I still hate widescreen. I have all of the Harry Potter movies specifically in full screen, and then there's one that I used to have that was in widescreen, and I was like, here, you can just have this. Widescreen is no, I hate widescreen. Actually,
is
it's the first
funny.
Harry Potter. They have it in widescreen or full screen. You could pick which one you wanted.
Which is funny because, I used to feel the same way. I used to have very strong feelings about Letterboxd on TV, and then the thing that changed it for me was watching The Lord of the Rings in widescreen and being like, wait, that character was in that shot? Wait, you can see more. It's what? And now I love widescreen.
Still don't.
Widescreen just shows you more, but I'm gonna go with episode 1. Not necessarily that I like it, but with episode 1.
So our Star Wars opinions will come on a later episode.
We'll do an entire episode solely based on Star Wars.
Talk about Star Wars,
if
the
that's
Clone
what
Wars,
you guys want.
the sequels, the prequels, and everything in between. So we talked about our first DVD. Oh, and my first DVD. We won a contest to get a DVD player for The Lord of the Rings. But the first DVD we actually watched on it was Castaway. And it was a really sad and happy film. It was good. I remember, I think I cried. The whole time I was like, wow, it's so lifelike. So, first DVD, but what about the first movie you remember watching?
Beauty and the Beast. I think I've gone over this.
Yeah, I see the Beast.
The Beast. I actually can't remember.
Mine was The
I'm gonna look it up.
Lion King. And I remember we came home and me and my brother were in our underwear and we'd take turns playing on the chair doing the Long Live the King and we'd throw the other one off the couch. Good times.
That makes so much sense with you and Caleb.
And we would do it. We would switch turns being Mufasa and Scar and we would just, that was the game. We also used to play a game. We saw a picture in like National Geographic of like an exhibit where it was this sloth stuck in tar and these saber-toothed tigers are ready to pounce and eat it. And so we would do that. One of us would be the sloth and we'd put potato chips on our back. And then the other one would tackle us and eat the potato chips like we were a saber-toothed tiger.
Colorado's a weird place.
Colorado is a very strange place. When did The Little Mermaid come out?
In the
89.
80s.
I was 2. Oh, God. So it wasn't The Little Mermaid.
I wasn't even a thought.
Okay, stop. Stop. What was Disney Renaissance movies were...
It was Little Mermaid, then Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast was the last one, wasn't it?
Then... No, it was the second... It was the second film. Because Little Mermaid started it, then it was Beauty and the Beast, then it was The Lion King, Aladdin... Or Aladdin, the Lion
Aladdin,
King.
Lion King. I think Aladdin's 92.
Yeah, Aladdin, Lion
King's
King, Pocahontas, Hunchback, Mulan, Lilo and Stitch.
Is that part of it?
Yeah, it goes all the way up till...
Tangled? No.
No, that's the new ones. I think it stops with...
Frog?
No, that was part of the new Renaissance, I think.
Hercules?
Hercules, yes.
Tarzan?
Tarzan was also in there. Man, you know that all the Disney fans at home are going to be like, you're missing these films.
I would say, I guess if I had to think about it, maybe Aladdin.
Yeah.
Maybe Aladdin, which was a
Do
mistake.
you trust me?
For my for my mom, because you know Aladdin and
Shirtless.
the shirtless and the vest. I mean, let's just chalk that up for one more reason why I'm gay.
Yeah.
Besides being born this way.
So, you know what? That actually leads into...
We're not going to go into that debate right now.
We're not.
Why don't we talk about what queer watching?
Oh.
Different TV and film that we've been keeping an eye on.
Oh, our new segment, What Queer Watching.
Yeah, that was so smooth it just went right over.
It just went whoop, whoop. I'd say something that you and I are both watching. We started... Is it Julie and the Phantoms on
Yes.
Disney on Netflix?
Yes, on Netflix.
On Netflix,
Which
we started that.
It's isn't it a remake of a Brazilian show?
It is a remake of a Brazilian show. It's this girl who finds this music,
Instruments and
stuff, and then it goes to 3 guys that died because they ate a hot dog before they got their big break.
I saw it pop up.
The first couple episodes are good.
Yeah, we need to watch more, but
We need to watch more.
it's a fun premise.
Right. I'm personally watching, besides that, Grey's Anatomy. I'm rewatching Grey's Anatomy.
You're on season
from the
7
beginning.
now.
I'm on season 7.
I'm so proud of you.
When I was younger, I only watched the first season when they came out because my friend got it for me on DVD. So I watched the whole first season, and then I could never just keep up with it. But now I'm on season 7, and there's so much drama. I was telling him about the drama. It's just after the shooting.
Yeah, he
was
gave me a
happening in the
play-by-play of
show.
that episode, and he's like, "Did you want to watch the whole thing?" And I'm like, "Well, why don't we just start from where you left off?"
It was so intense. We're also watching Schitt's Creek, the final season of Schitt's Creek.
Oh, that show's
which is
so good.
wonderful. I've already cried.
It deserved all of the accolades and awards it's won. I love it.
Correct. What else are you watching, Larry? What else do you...
Something, I'm not watching it yet, but I want to watch more of it. Crypt TV on YouTube does horror shorts. with different monsters and villains and stuff. And I've watched a lot of them, like the look-see and stuff, but like they're really well made, and I'm excited to watch more as Halloween gets closer and closer. But that's for another episode.
That's for a Halloween episode.
Ooh, Jeff.
Currently, right now, we're rewatching Supernatural.
What season are you on? 23?
No,
24?
We are in
100?
season 5. Season 15 comes back technically as of recording right now, tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, the second half of season 15 because they had to stop filming because of COVID.
Oof.
A pandemic.
Right.
It. But it's the series finale season.
That's crazy.
I need to watch The Boys season 2. I know it's been out for almost a month, but
That's on Amazon, right?
yes, it's Amazon One. Been playing a lot of video games lately, so I haven't really been watching too much. I'm watching Schitt's Creek. I'm in season 2.
I told you about this show, right?
Yes, you're the one that told me to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm in
And
season 2 somewhere.
what do you think of it, though?
I was watching it while making the puzzle.
It's one of those things you can just put on
while you're
TV
doing
and
something.
just do something, and
Yeah.
it's
good.
still
No, I
so
like
relaxing.
It, if I'm in season 2, that means I liked the show. Because I
Fair.
will stop watching something if I don't like it.
Right. To be fair, I've given you a couple of things that you've watched and that you've liked.
What else did you give me?
The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, yes, you did.
Love that show. Still love that show. I can't wait for the next season to come out.
Yes.
Agreed.
Because Zachary Levi is also in that show, which I know you love Zachary Levi just as much as I love Zachary Levi, even though you've met him a couple times.
Chuck was a great show, too.
I've never watched Chuck. I've heard
You should.
we should
That
look
was his show.
Chuck up.
That was his show.
What's
Maybe we
better
could
than
up Chuck.
Up Chuck?
Oh, that was
Chuck.
me the other night, though. Anyways.
For...
But yeah, I guess because all my other shows aren't coming back. The Flash not coming back yet. Legends of Tomorrow's not coming back yet. Modern Family ended. The Good Place ended.
Yeah.
My shows end, and then I get really depressed for a while.
You know, I think it's funny that, like, we are sad about The Good Place ending, but the whole point of The Good Place ending was that having an end gives meaning.
I just want more episodes.
I didn't think they got enough of a season.
I was going to say, it felt like they kind of rushed a couple episodes.
They needed
in it.
more. They needed more. It was good. It was a great premise. It's the first time
Oh,
I
it was amazing.
But Great British Bake Off. I'm watching the Great British Bake Off. Yes, it comes out every Friday in the US, and I think in the UK it's like Wednesdays or something. We get it 2 days after.
And I have to
So
skip
good.
Twitter. Otherwise, they're like, "Oh, we're so sad to see so and so leaving the tent." I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't see it. I can't see it."
It's so exciting seeing people just bake, and you're just like, "Oh, I wish I could bake that." And then you're like, "You know what? I'm gonna bake a cake."
No,
We'll
bake a cake.
A YouTube series of us just baking stuff.
Baking stuff that they do in Great British Bake Off.
We'll have our own Great British Bake
Giggles,
They made-
Gays, and Ganaches.
Giggles, Gays, and Ganaches. Oh, that
It'll be a
sounds
spin-off of Giggles and
wonderful.
Gays.
We'll have our own baking bake off between the three of us.
Actually, that would be fun.
I would lose. I'm not a great
I'm a
baker.
pretty good baker.
I can cook really well, but I cannot bake.
I'm a pretty good baker.
I can read recipes that are written in English, and sometimes I can follow them.
Why are you reading recipes not in English?
Well, I can. That's my whole point. Like I'm putting out my shortcomings and my level of
So if it's in
baking.
Spanish, don't give it to them.
Yeah.
You can't read it.
Yeah, if someone's like, no,
Or English
no.
sometimes, for that matter.
No, I'm a pretty good baker. We'll have a bake off.
I'm gonna throw one of these plushies at you, and it's gonna, you're gonna hear it on the
You
mic.
guys had my one cake that one time. The rainbow,
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
the
I like
rainbow
that.
one. Yeah.
Yes, that was very good.
It was very colorful.
It was multicolored.
It was multicolored. We had it for a couple days.
That was the first thing you baked for us.
That's the
Wow.
only thing I've baked.
It-
so far.
Yeah.
But it was the first.
The first. It
And
is
that
the first.
ties in to the next series of questions.
Okay, let's go.
So, first, pets. My first pets that I remember having, we had 2 dogs. One was a black, I think, lab. Her name was Shadow. She was very timid, very shy. And then we had a chow mix, and her name was Ryan. And she was a very protective dog, but she was very sweet. And I only learned later in life that those dogs were incredibly territorial, because when we were growing up, she was just a sweetheart. We didn't see any of that territorial from her. But those are the first pets that I remember having.
Mine that I can remember, it definitely
Goldfish
wasn't
don't
my
count.
pet. Goldfish do not count because they die like all the time, especially if you get them from the fair. It's like I think they just breed them to just die. My first pet that I can recall in my head was a big hairy dog that my parents had, whose name was Harry. You know, real like
That's a bit on the nose.
real smart there. The second one was a dog that I got when I was actually able to go and pick it up. It licked a lot, it very much liked to lick your feet, lick your hands, lick everything. His name was Lick Lick. I was a simple child.
To be fair, I can't make fun of you because every stuffed animal and toy I got was a variation of the word cute. Cutie, Mr. Cute.
When I was younger,
I
I showed.
judged him hard.
I used to show pigs at the fair. You would raise them, and then you would show them, and then you would sell them to like market, and you would get money for it. It was like FFA, 4-H, that kind of thing. My dad begged me every single year if I would name the pig something pork related. And I was like, no, I'm a classy gentleman. So they were like, for a while, they were like, Cleopatra was the first one. Then I had a Phantom. And then I had Caesar. And then I had Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. My cousin and I had Gilligan and Skipper. We had those together. And then I think it was my 10th grade year, my dad's like, please, can I please name it? I was like, fine. He named it Bacon Bits.
You should have named it Kevin Bacon.
Separation. So the cool thing was, every year you would give your buyer a basket. Whoever bought your pig, you give them a basket. This year was the best basket. We put salad mix. We had like fresh tomatoes that we had gotten that day, and lots of bacon bits. It was so good. Our buyer was amazed. But yeah, those were my first animals that I remember. What about you, Jeff?
We had a cat when I was born. It was a black cat. His name was Minu.
Oh, that's a cute name. Not simple at all.
The first dog we got, he's still kicking. He's 15. Just turned 15 the other day.
Aww.
His name is Socks. He's a little Havanese, and he has little white paws, but he's jet black.
Oh, that's cute.
Have I never shown you a picture of him?
No, we'll post a picture on the Instagram for sure.
Yeah, we'll post a picture.
The cutest little thing. Then I got a hamster my senior year of high school. His name was Snuffleupagus.
Of course,
It's a long name for a
I called
short...
him Snuffles. That was my hamster. And then as soon as I moved out, the first thing I did was bought a bearded dragon because I was never allowed to have a reptile in the house. So I bought a bearded dragon. His name is Strax, and he's chilling at home right now. He has some mealworm, butterworms. He had some worms yesterday, so he's a happy little camper.
Aw.
Yeah.
My bearded dragon, Smaug, likes lettuce. Some people are like, oh, I can't get him to eat lettuce. I can't. And, like, if you have anything green anywhere near the tank, he runs over, he's like, is that mine?
He likes his bright green shirt that I wear, too.
He'll
go
run over and
crazy
he just gets so
Yeah,
jealous.
they like veggies. If you have to give it to them initially, so they'll start to like it. He eats mealworms, butterworms, and then I usually feed him one of the prepared things that they sell at like Costco or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Costco, Petco.
Costco.
One of those prepared things. That's usually just always in there.
Yeah.
And then the worms are kind of like
A treat.
a treat. And he'll get he knows too when you're getting the worms because you'll walk up and I'll open the top of the tank and he'll look like he's chilling asleep, not paying attention to you. He's just there all of a sudden. He's like, "What's going on? What are we doing?"
Is that for me?
Well, because I leave the tray that I put him in right next to the tank, just to tempt him sometimes. And he'll walk as soon as I pick it up. Whoop, he's like, "Hey, what are we doing today?"
I know what this is.
But he's very needy. Mine's super needy. He always wants to come out and hang out.
Mine is he's apathetic. He likes to be involved, but at a distance. Like he'll let you hold him if you hold him gently. He'll let you hold him and he'll just sit. He likes baths, but he won't go swimming unless you're not watching. Mm-hmm. He likes to pretend he's disinterested.
All the time.
He'll like run around the tank, and if you look over at him when he's running around, he'll stop and turn towards you. And he'll be like, "What?" And then he'll run up and like slam his head against the glass to try and get to you. And I'm like, "Listen, buddy, like I know you want to hang out right now." And like sometimes that's like danger things, like he's trying to attack or defend himself, but he's not. He's so needy. Like, I'll come up and I'll walk over and I'll pick him up and he'll just latch on. And he'll just sit there for like an hour and not move. Because sometimes after a while they get bored and they try and walk away. And he'll just sit there. And I'm like...
Smaug just, I don't know, he's just... He's never been that way. Like, and Larry's handled him all the time.
Yeah, it's not that he... Like, I think he enjoys being handled a little bit, but he likes to be so indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
Our first pet together, though.
Yes.
We can talk about our first pet.
Dog.
He's still here. We have a dog. We adopted him. He's one of the dogs you've heard. That his name is Alto. Alto Solo Tucker Terry is what his name is.
And we chose Alto because when we first saw him, because it's a requirement to like play with him and make sure that like not
because
only
we rescued him. Rescued him.
That not only does the dog like you and like agree with you, but that you know how to handle a pet. And he really reacted to sounds well, and we're like, we got to pick a sound-based name, so Alto stuck.
Yeah, and then we got him a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff, Star Wars collars, Star Wars everything. So we put his middle name as Solo, like Han Solo, and then that kind of stuck with our other pets. We have Alto Solo, we have Smaug Skywalker. And our newest addition, which is Blueberry, his name is Blueberry Organa, for Princess Leia. So we stick with a theme.
Yeah, we've got a good one.
Speaking of themes, what's our
next question. I was like, what? What's it? What is it?
Yeah, what theme were we talking about?
So our first video game, because I know we all like playing video games. Jeff, what was your first video game?
Console and game.
My first console was my Game Boy Color. It was a purple Game Boy Color. We got it at Toys R Us before Toys R Us was destroyed.
Oh, rest in peace, Toys R Us.
Apparently they're coming back as something new, but anyway. And the first game I got for it when we bought it was Pokemon Blue version.
Same.
90% sure I got my GBA before we got the N64. I know the N64 came out first.
What is GBA?
Game Boy... Oh, not GBA, GBC. Game Boy Color. GBA is Game Boy Advance. Sorry, Game Boy Color. Because I
was
got
like,
a color
I have
first.
no idea what that means.
Sorry, I got a color first. I'm pretty sure we got it before the N64, but I can't remember exactly because N64 had been out for a while, but we didn't get one. I used to go to my friend's house to play like Mario Kart and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure I got my Game Boy Color first with Pokemon, which ironically, my little brother got a Game Boy Color before I did. And I wanted one because he had one. But now I'm the gamer, and he is not. But Pokemon Blue version. And my first Pokemon was Squirtle. And the first Pokemon that ever got transported into the box was Bellsprout. And I had a panic attack because I didn't know where my Pokemon went. Because I was 7 years old and didn't understand. I don't understand. We'll have a whole episode about this if we need to. I don't understand how I played Pokemon. If you ever go back and play Red and Blue version, they are the hardest goddamn games on the face of the earth.
Well, especially
because it doesn't tell you what to do.
And you can't read what attacks do. You can't read their description. And their description that you have for the TMs, which you only get to use once, is like, does a fire attack. And like, cool, thanks. That's neat.
I, to this day, have never beaten Pokemon Blue.
You would be, based on playing the newer games, the new games hold your hand. They guide you to the end. The old game, it was like, oh, you beat the gym leader? Good luck finding the next one.
Guess you'll just have to wander around fighting stuff. And,
I have also never made it past 3 gyms.
Ever?
In Pokemon Blue.
Oh. Well, because after that, you have to go through Rock Tunnel, and it doesn't tell you to go to Rock Tunnel. You have to go to Rock Tunnel to Lavender Town. Trust me, I played this game a lot. But the most annoying Pokemon game was in Gold and Silver. After you beat the underground bunker and you had to go to the radio tower, it never told you to go to the radio tower.
You just had to get so bored and so lost that you're like, where haven't I been?
And you show up at the radio tower, and it's the continuation of the story. It's been a while since I played it. Maybe it does tell you to go to the radio tower. But at the age of 8, it didn't tell me to go to the radio tower.
When you're playing it for the first time and they're like, oh, we've made some minor adjustments to the game.
Pokemon was hard back in the day.
It was. Like, going back knowing how to play it, it's like, oh, okay. My first video games, my great-grandma had a Nintendo, the NES, and they had Zelda, which never worked. They had Zelda 2, which I loved. They had, and Donkey Kong Jr.
But what was your first game?
My first game was the Super Nintendo, and it was Super Mario World, which was an amazing game, and Killer Instinct, which is like Mortal Kombat, but not.
Mine was the first Nintendo, because again,
N64?
no, the first like
The Nintendo Entertainment System?
yes.
Okay.
Like I just called it Nintendo, okay?
All right, you're older than the N64.
I am 33, so when I was younger, I got that, and it came with the 2 square controllers and the Duck Hunt gun.
That was a fun game.
So my first game was the combo of Super Mario, the first one, and Duck Hunt. That was my very first game. And then, of course, we went to the Super Nintendo. And then I did not have a single game console until Larry and I got together when we bought a Wii.
Yes.
If you want to go real old school,
That's it.
I had the Gumby computer game back in the day on a floppy disk.
Oh my gosh. That was
Games
elementary
used to be-
school.
Games used to be on floppy disks. So technically, I guess before the N64 or something like that, I guess I did have a floppy disk game. I had that one. There was, I think, a Snoopy one or something like that. There are a couple floppy disk games we used to have.
We played Oregon Trail in elementary school
Yep.
on the
We
computers
used to play
on the
Oregon
floppy
Trail.
disk.
Oregon Trail was the stuff.
We didn't get to do it a lot because I guess you had to behave or something to be able to do it.
I always got in trouble because I'd always just load it up. And they'd be like, why are you playing that right now?
Our
We're supposed to be playing Mavis Beacon.
our computers were locked in a room. The only way you could go in there is if your class was supposed to
But we had a computer
go in there.
We had a computer lab
Oh
class.
no, I'm older than you, so
Excuse me.
we did not have anything.
Yeah, you are an old man. So we had computers back in the day. They weren't big, clunky, took up an entire room.
Yeah, I think the room itself was like 6 on each side.
No, I
so
meant like
we
the
had like
computer
12.
took up the whole room like it used to.
No.
What's the next question before I make him feel bad about his age?
First kiss.
It was with a
Went a
girl.
little like this.
Mine was with a girl.
Mine was too. It was a prom night. Yeah, prom night. And it was with my girlfriend at the
I
time.
Yep.
met the
It was with
girlfriend
my
one
girlfriend.
time.
And we were just... Apparently everyone was just staring at us while we were kissing in the corner. That was embarrassing. That was, wow.
Yikes.
Mine was I was 8 years old and it was my back
Ooh, going
neigh-
young.
I know. It was the back neighbor. And he and I got caught so many times. What we would do is we would go in the bed of my dad's truck and lay down so that way no one could see us.
You started young.
Well, I mean, and then of course I don't think I actually kissed a girl until like middle school, and then
Wow.
I knew I didn't like it then. So true, but that was mine. That was mine. So I definitely started young.
Yeah, you did.
I think his name was Ricky.
You don't even remember? Wow, just threw him to the curb.
Wow.
Well, no,
poor Ricky.
no. After that, well, I mean, after the 5th or 6th time, our parents forbade us from ever
Forbidden love.
talking to each other. We couldn't even play anymore. And then they ended
Because
up
playing was making
moving.
out.
They ended up moving, and then
Wow.
Because he kept kissing his kid.
it was crazy. It was crazy times.
So, Jeff, you said you kissed a girl?
Yeah, I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Starting young.
Well, I had better things to do than kiss people. At
Like
the age
what?
of 8. School, track, band, video games. I played a lot of World of Warcraft back then. Like, a lot.
Oh,
Like,
same.
I had another, air quote, girlfriend at the time. And she literally broke up with me because all I would do is play World of Warcraft. And she said, you don't have enough time for me because you're only playing World of Warcraft. And ironically, I was playing World of Warcraft while she was talking to me on the phone breaking up with me. So
And you're like, okay, all right, I gotta finish this raid.
Oh my god.
it was during Cataclysm. When I was questing.
Oh, wow.
And I was
Oh,
questing. I
wow.
was questing during Cataclysm.
Look, I'm so sorry, chick, but like all of Orgrimmar got overthrown, and now it's run by Garish. I'm sorry, there's too much drama. You're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
She
randomly
never
texted me the
played
other day.
World of Warcraft ever.
That girl randomly texted me the other day.
Is she crazy?
Yes, she's crazy. I'll tell you all about her later.
Or are you going to tell her that we have a podcast where we talked about her?
You might.
I'll text it to her.
What, the link to the podcast?
Yeah. No, just that clip. I'll just send that clip.
Like,
This is all you have to hear. First date with your current significant other. Our first date, we went to... That was when we did all of the parks, right?
Yes.
We started in Animal Kingdom.
We did, because you were working.
Uh-huh. And then I got off work.
Then you got off of work. And then we did a bunch of rides in Animal Kingdom. The only park we didn't go to Epcot. We didn't go to Epcot that day.
No, not that day. Because we had been to Epcot previously on our pre-date.
Yeah, pre-date, that is for another time.
What is a pre-date?
Exactly, that's
for
what
another
I'm saying.
time.
That's for another time.
It's for another time.
But basic description is it is a date.
That happens before you know you like each other.
Happens before you know you like her. So basically, it's a hanging out kind of thing.
Okay.
But that's for another topic, another time. The thing we did, we talked the entire night before until like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. And then he had to go to bed because he had to go to work. I was off that day because we also worked together.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then we went to Hollywood Studios. And it rained.
It did.
Didn't matter because we had already gone on Cali River Rapids and we were soaked.
Yep. And then we went to Magic Kingdom and we watched Wishes.
Yep, and we closed the park out.
Yeah.
We rode a bus back to Animal Kingdom to pick up our cars.
Yep.
We weren't like a fish or anything, but we were just like making out all over the park.
Oh my
and
gosh,
like
we really were.
Every line we were in. It was crazy.
One of our coworkers saw us and they're like, "So, you had a great time last night, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yes."
We put on so much like
Chapstick
that it actually like started making me sick.
We were
The
eating
amount of
chapstick at that
it was
point.
crazy. What about you? What about you and Patrick?
We went to Applebee's for dinner.
Oh, classy.
How romantic.
Yes, it was. Then we went to the movies. Classic first date, right?
Yeah.
And saw Into the Wild, which was the one where that lady hiked like through some mountains. I was not. He really wanted to see it. So we saw it. And she pulled off her toenail during it. And it was so gross. But, whatever. And then we went back to... Because the Applebee's was like across the street. And I drove over to the movie theater. Then we drove back to his car. And then proceeded to make out for 3 hours in my car.
Oh, wow.
3 hours?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Wow, that's what being in the wild will do, I guess.
And then that was it. It was
That's
a basic date.
So this first dates. Next segment. This is a fun one. Once upon a drink. Now
Once
none
upon
of
a
us
drink.
are necessarily heavy drinkers. It's not like I have to have alcohol to enjoy myself. But we all like having a drink once in a while.
Correct.
So our once upon a drink this time is our first alcoholic drink, and I'll start it. Mine it was after a night of theater production in high school, and you know because you all act like you're
Which is illegal, by the way, friends.
fresh off Broadway, and you're like, wow, we're so cool. And one of our friends had this tradition where he would take, like, he had a bottle of alcohol, and everyone would like take a sip after the first night. I didn't know this till that night, but I didn't want to get left out, so I took a sip of whiskey, and I was paranoid the rest of the night. I'm like, oh my god, what if I get drunk? What if I'm drunk right now and I don't know it? What if the cops pull me over? Like, nothing happened, and I don't like whiskey. But yeah, that was my first drink.
My first drink was a Bud Light.
When?
Is this a story?
He
was 8
I was a
with
junior.
the boy.
I was.
It was Ricky.
I was a junior in high school.
God, you guys are bad kids.
Was I a junior in high school? Yes, I was a junior in high school. Trish and Amanda can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really remember. But it was like there was some big bonfire. One of my friends, actually, it was one of Amanda's. Oh God, she's gonna kill me. One of Amanda's old boyfriends was going to the Navy, so it was like a send off for him, and it was at her mom. Was that her mom's? I believe it was at her mom's place or something. And everyone was supposed to be sleeping over in tents and everything. I did not want to sleep over in tents because I am not that kind of lady, and I do not like sleeping in tents when it's hot. It's just not fun. But I got drunk off of Bud Light. That was my first drink. Of course, they were making other drinks. And then one of my friends took me home. My mom was awake, waiting up for me. And I fell through the door. Like, literally, I turned the thing and I fell because I was drunk. Because I tripped and I fell. I opened the door, whatever. And then I went to my mom. And my mom told me, she was like, I was like, I love you so much. I just love you, Mom. And then the next day, I woke up. And she had 2 Tylenol and a glass of water beside my bed. And because it was the worst hangover in my entire life.
I've never been hungover.
First
so
worst.
It was the worst, and she never said anything. She never mentioned that I was under the age. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. That never happened again until I was 21, and then she got upset at me. But anyways, what about you, Jeff?
Well, my first drink was at the age of 18.
Okay, so we all did
In Europe, where it's legal,
Oh, Jeff.
I was in Italy for our senior trip.
Oh,
Celebrated my 18th birthday in Venice.
ooh.
So my friends all got me
posh.
drinks, which was the first time I ever drank. Because in the United States, it's not legal to drink until 21.
What? No way.
And Jeff's
I thought
a
it
good-
was okay if
Jeff's
it's a sip of whiskey.
Jeff's a good kid. So I drank over there because it was legal and we were, just out of high school. And I got drunk and I proceeded to call my mother on my phone.
Ooh.
And I remember sitting on the steps going up to the hotel room, calling my mom saying, Mom, I'm drunk. And she still remembers it to this day.
Oh,
When
wow.
you guys eventually meet her, because you've never met her, right?
No.
No. When you eventually meet her, you can ask her about the story. She remembers me calling her, because it was like, 7 o'clock there, but like midday here.
Mm-hmm.
So she remembers me calling, just saying that I was drunk.
Oh, that's sweet though.
Yeah, so we now know if I ever get super duper drunk, the first thing I'll do is call my mom. She was like, at least I know that from then on, if you were to get really drunk, you'd call me probably.
And then you never did.
No, because I never got hung up.
And that was Once Upon a Drink.
Oh, I forgot we did not mention a drink that we had.
What did we just have?
Larry and I, we've been doing scary movie nights on Mondays now, with just him and I, and we would cook a meal, watch a movie, blah blah blah. I found this drink that it's good, just in smaller doses, but it is called a spiced apple margarita, and it's tequila, apple cider, lime juice, cinnamon, and really good. I mean, we thought it was really good. I made them in doubles.
How many?
I made them in doubles, and I put 3 shots of tequila. It was a bit much.
Sounds like a pussy drink.
Oh no, it was.
Don't make me one.
Shut up.
I'll show you,
Mr.
how to do it.
Italy.
Next episode, hey guys, it's Jeff. This is Giggles and
I'll post it on Instagram.
How you guys doing today?
Oh my gosh. I'll post the link where I found it either on Instagram or Facebook, if you want to make it. It's definitely a fall time drink, hopefully. Hopefully you guys can tell us if you like it or not.
What's your favorite first? Like, what's something that you just absolutely loved doing, like, the first time?
Playing Pokemon. Listening to WAP.
Oh my gosh.
Going on a date with you.
Aww. You're so sweet to me.
But it's true. I think that was my favorite first.
I think one of my favorite firsts was when you held my hand the first time.
Oh.
Mine was recording the
But
first
I didn't
episode
hold
of the
your
podcast.
hand. You held my hand first.
No, you held my hand, and that prompted me to kiss you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You pulled my hand and aw.
Yeah. Aw.
The things you remember.
Internally.
Jeff, what's your favorite first?
First time you met me.
Okay. My favorite first. When Squirtle evolved?
Oh,
No, that's
into
not it. I don't know what
Wartortle.
my favorite first is.
I think a close second favorite first for me would be Horror
Sorry,
Nights.
this is the Larry show.
It's the Larry show today.
Listen, every other episode, I'm like, where am I? When was I saying something? I get to,
Whoa,
this is me.
Diva, calm
I get to
down.
talk.
Sorry. It's the contest should be called The Alan Show with Jeff and Larry sometimes in it.
This time it's the Larry Show featuring Jeff and Alan.
Oh, honey, I'm never a feature.
I don't know. Like, because there's a lot of firsts, obviously. 'Cause
Yeah.
You do things for the first time a lot, but
Maybe you just love all of your firsts.
yes.
Except your kisses with girls.
This might be an easier one. What's a first that you would do over? If you had to erase the first time you did something and do it over, what would your first do over be? Mine would be first kiss. It wasn't bad, but knowing like how much I was like not myself, I think I would have changed that.
I don't know. I would probably change my first drink. I don't know. I was so afraid of going home and my parents finding out I was drunk. I didn't really have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I would change that.
that makes sense.
Maybe not in the woods.
Into the woods.
They're not going there.
We'll talk about that next week.
What's a first that you would want to do? Like, what's something you want to do for the first time? I know for me, I want to go skydiving.
You know what? I was just thinking that would actually be fun. Could be like the episode of Grey's Anatomy.
There will not be a Giggles and Gay episode about that because you will not catch me jumping out of that airplane.
Or it could be the first time
we don't
hold our
have to
kids.
catch you jumping out of an airplane. That's what the parachute is for.
No. You won't see me anywhere near the door of an open airplane. Like, oh guys, look, if we don't open the parachute, we'll die. I don't have time for that.
The door of an open airplane. The open door of an airplane. I was just wrapping my head around it. It's okay.
What would I want to redo my first and not ever happen? Meeting Alan.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Burn.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
scar. Yeah.
What would I want to redo?
I think.
Oh no, wait. This is what we would want.
Well, this is the
Yeah.
first that we would want to do. Like I said,
you've not
skydiving.
done.
I want to go to Disneyland.
You have to go to Disneyland. Or
so
maybe this
good.
time we'll get to go with you.
I'm working on it.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one.
What about holding our kids for the first time?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's the first time I'm excited.
There's so
Oh,
many
good, yeah,
firsts
'cause we're
I'm
excited.
for.
Yeah, that would be fun. That was a lot of firsts.
That was a lot of firsts.
If you guys have any other firsts that you would like to know, we might be, we could do another first episode. Or
Or let us know
would be a
which-
second first episode.
Revenge of the First.
Revenge of the First. Let us know for sure. Send an email, all that kind of good stuff. We'll hit it up and we'll.
Or if there's any firsts we mentioned that you want to share with us, you can share it on all of our different social medias.
Exactly.
You can email us at gigglesandgays@gmail.com. You can tweet at us and Instagram are both the same handles, which are...
Giggles and Gays.
Our Facebook is also...
Giggles and Gays.
It's very easy to find.
Everything, yeah, we try to make it easier for you guys.
You can listen to wherever podcasts are found. It should be on all the platforms now. It was a little rough.
Yes.
A little rough that first day because Apple was being a little slowpoke and...
We were just sitting there
We
like...
think it's on Google Play, but we can't find it.
We
so-
can't find us. But
As
it's
of this
definitely
moment, we
on
can't
there.
find it. When this episode comes out, it should probably be chilling there.
Make sure you just subscribe and download everywhere you can. It definitely helps us out a
And
lot.
it'll previews for the upcoming episode will come out on Fridays. You can find it on. Are you going to tweet them? Or is it just Insta?
I think we're going to do Instagram and Facebook and all of our
And
social
it'll show
media
up on.
platforms.
It'll actually show up on the podcast app.
Yeah,
too.
so that way you can see it.
And new episodes come out on Mondays. And if for some reason
Mondays.
an episode is ever delayed, you will get a heads up.
Yeah, we will make sure that's tweeted, Instagrammed, everything right away.
Do not get mad at us.
That way the disappointment can begin early, and then you can just be giggling along with us when we start the episode.
Exactly.
For personal Instagrams,
Mine is at ginger_print_charming. Definitely follow me on there.
I have three now that I post on regularly. My regular account, ARXRYL, Arxrill. Then my art account, Inked by Arxrill. And then I have, I'm taking pictures of the decorations around our house, specifically spooky season decorations right now, because obviously. And it's the Wellborn house.
The _Wellborn_house.
Yes.
That's
But
great.
if you search the Wellborn house, we'll probably pop up.
Probably.
But this has been another episode of Giggles and Gays. I'm Larry.
I'm Alan.
I'm Jeff, and guys, don't forget to vote. The election is coming up. And keep calm and giggle on.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.